organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up tonight on the edition of Daily Iowan TV,
Edward Snowden gave a lecture here at the UI, and we have the full recap.
And one popular type of transportation here at Iowa is becoming even more popular.
Iowa football looks forward to starting their Big Ten play.
And we take a look at a long-time tradition inside Kinnick Stadium. That's all coming up in sports.
We have all that and more coming your way.
You're watching Daily Iowan TV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Nikki Crossway.
And I'm Hannah Hawks.
A huge crowd was at the Englert Theater Monday to hear Edward Snowden speak about security and politics here in the United States. And Daily Iowan TV reporter Andrew Roberts has the recap.
It has been over 2 years since he was forced to flee into Russia after leaking secret information about the United States National Security Agency. Now, Edward Snowden will speak to the people of Iowa City through video conferencing alongside a former FBI agent, Colleen Rowley, and retired CIA analyst Ray McGovern. Their lecture, entitled Intelligence, Not Mistaken, but Fixed for War, seeks to shed light on current national security issues and provide truth for the American people. A long line poured out of the Englert Theater as hundreds gathered to hear from three of the most controversial Americans to date. The event put on by the UI Lecture Committee not only gathered a large audience, but brought in a world-renowned figure. Edward Snowden spoke for nearly 15 minutes, hitting on issues of government accountability, government action, and lastly, government surveillance. But he went further than to just highlight these problems.
There's a question of where does this lead us as a society? How do we guard against it? How do we protect our interests? How do we protect our values? And if we don't, what are the consequences? What are the results?
Together, the three speakers geared audience members' minds on not only the issues, but how to safeguard against them. Rowley, a former UI student, knows how important Snowden's actions were on key matters.
Snowden's disclosures go to the surveillance and spying on Americans. And I think that was a wake-up, and I think that's why a lot more people are interested in some of these issues.
Reporting from the Englert Theater, I'm Andrew Roberts for Daily Iowan TV.
Thanks, Andrew. Snowden was brought to the UI by the University of Iowa Lecture Committee, who are bringing other big speakers later on this year.
The uproar over the UI's new president is far from over. The University of Iowa College of Liberal Arts and Sciences Faculty Assembly announced that they have unanimously approved a motion of no confidence in the Board of Regents. They're extremely unhappy with the new presidential pick, Bruce Harreld. The Assembly is asking that the regents resign or have Governor Terry Branstad dismiss them. Governor Branstad is responsible for appointing the regents, and he has the power to remove any board member with Iowa Senate approval. About 70 representatives from the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences voted for this new motion. The group hopes that other organizations will follow their lead to make this change. We will keep you updated as this story develops.
Although Governor Terry Branstad hasn't commented on the motion, he didn't issue an executive order this past Monday to combat bullying in Iowa schools. The order ensures that Iowa schools have access to anti-bullying training. It promotes a 24-hour hotline that students can visit if they are feeling threatened, and creates student mentoring programs. It will be paid for by existing funding, and additional funding for the programs will be raised during the next legislative session.
The UI Education Department has launched a new certificate this fall. The online certificate for teaching English as a foreign language is now available to current and future English language professionals who want to teach outside of the United States. Students will explore approaches, methods, and practices in teaching English as a foreign language in K-12 schools. The online certificate can be completed in 1 year after 4 8-week classes are completed.
It's a certificate to not only train teachers to be effective, but to be ethical and mindful of the multilingual ecologies in which they're going to work.
Iowa is now one of few universities who offer this type of certificate to its students.
Some of you have been noticing your Facebook feed overcrowded by long messages just like this one. These messages say Facebook is going to begin charging users and sharing their private information. The social media company has received a large amount of backlash in the wake of the post. Facebook has denied the rumors and say that it is not the first time this has happened. Facebook says that according to their terms of agreement, users own all the content and information they post on Facebook, and they can control how it is shared through their privacy and application settings. The company has reassured their users that Facebook will remain free of charge and that the post is a scam.
Wow, I can't believe that. I don't know how I'd feel about my stuff on Facebook getting used.
I don't know, but I've been seeing a lot about the weather on Facebook lately.
Yeah, absolutely. With all that rain, I don't know what else you would do but scroll Facebook. Let's send it over to Andrew to see how the weather's looking for the rest of the week.
Well, it looks like that fall weather we've all been anxiously awaiting is finally here to stay. Temps in the morning will be a little bit nippy on Wednesday as we will see them in the mid-40s, so you may want to grab your coat on the way to class, but you can expect clear skies throughout the entire day. Moving on to the afternoon, we will see a bit of a jump in the temp up to a high of 61, and as the evening rolls around, we will see that drop back down right around to the high 50s. Moving on to the rest of the week, Thursday and Friday will be perfect during the day with highs in the mid-60s and sunny skies, but a bit on the colder side during the morning and evening with temps just above 40. Saturday, we will continue to see the great weather. Temps will be sitting in between the low 40s and low 60s all day. Great weather to shop around the Ped Mall during our away game weekend. Just make sure you dress the part. Sadly, the clouds will be covering the sky on Sunday, but temps will still be around the low 60s during the day and drop to the 40s at night. And as for the start of next week, Monday, the temp will rise just a bit into the mid-60s during the midday and in the upper 40s during the morning and evening. That's all I have for you in the weather studio. Back to you at the desk.
Iowa City is about to be a lot more bike-friendly with a new program coming late in October. Kelsey Stanger has the story.
While driving on any street around campus, you are sure to be sharing your lane with bicyclists. Many students and faculty find this to be the best way of transportation to get around. Starting hopefully next month, Iowa City will bring in a bike share program. Users will be able to rent a bike for free for the first hour and then will pay for any additional time needed. The University of Iowa student government has been working closely with city planners to bring this program to campus, as well as by pitching in $4,000 to the project.
The idea was really to integrate the downtown, obviously, most of all, as opposed to necessarily the periphery of Iowa City. But the city was interested, just for its own benefit, to maybe have connections to parks that are maybe not on the beaten path, so to speak, for students and people who just live in the downtown.
Many motor vehicle drivers have to share the road with bicyclists per Iowa City law, and safety is a main concern with allowing any citizen to be able to rent these bikes.
I got hit by a car earlier this semester, so I don't really feel that safe on the bike. I was in crosswalk too, which is even worse. So I definitely for bike safety and making the roads better.
The downtown, people are kind of, I would say, aggressive when they're driving, and it's not a very bike-friendly culture, at least in the downtown.
With the introduction to the Iowa Bike Share, the UISG are hoping to promote a bike safety course including tips and facts about Iowa bike law. The campus is hoping the kiosk will be in place before November. The University of Iowa is the first campus to have a bike share program in Iowa. Iowa State and the University of Northern Iowa are still in the planning stages.
I mean, I'm just excited to see it out and rolling.
The university and city members are hoping this strengthens the ever-growing cyclist community. Reporting from Iowa City, I'm Kelsey Stanger, Daily Iowan TV.
$2.4 million. That's how much Dance Marathon has vowed to raise this year for its 22nd annual event. This is a 20% increase from last year's $2 million total. This is the first time in Dance Marathon history that a public goal has been set. In order to reach this goal, anyone who wants to participate in the main dance event in February must raise a minimum of $500, which is $100 more than last year. Various events will be held on campus throughout the year to help Dance Marathon reach their goal.
2 UI students are helping to make a change for kids at the University of Iowa's Children's Hospital. After noticing how unattractive and uncomfortable the kids' hospital gowns are, Billy Roediger and Ashan Muhib decided they wanted to change that. The two decided to start a line of hospital gowns and socks so kids could dress up like their favorite Disney characters, superheroes, or athletes. The kids can choose what they want their gown to look like, and it will be made for them to wear throughout their time spent at the hospital. Roediger and Muhib said the hope is change the wardrobe will make kids happier and give them a more positive mindset. The two are still sorting out the details of their new company, but hope to see the kids in their new gowns within a year.
Along with those new robes, the children will be visiting the hospital here in Iowa City. It will soon be in their new facility. The new UI Children's Hospital is close to complete. The final touches on the building will be completed this upcoming summer.
That view from Kinnick, the new hospital, is going to be amazing for all those kids.
Absolutely. With Kinnick empty this week, that doesn't mean the Hawkeye Sports takes a break. Let's toss it over to the sports studio to see what has been going on so far this week. Guys?
It's Tuesday on Daily Iowan TV Sports, which means Iowa football is in preparation for their next opponent.
We will send it over to Taylor Brooks for a look at Iowa's first Big Ten opponent of the season, the number 19 Wisconsin Badgers. Taylor?
This will be Iowa's first true test, especially with Big Ten Conference play happening. They will travel to Madison, and one thing about Wisconsin is they are very consistent, especially on the defensive end. They rank nationally 11th in allowing rushing yards at only 82.8. The way Iowa matches up to this defense offensively, Iowa has the pass game of C.J. Beathard and run game of LaShawn Daniels Jr. and Jordan Canzeri. Then you add on how versatile Iowa's wide receivers and tight ends are. They create a stellar matchup with Wisconsin. As for Iowa's defense, they are one of 2 schools in the nation to yet allow a rushing touchdown.
I can assure you what they do creates a lot of stress on you, defensively. They just if you try to load up in one area, they're going to find it real quick because they know their system and they know where to go.
Same style offense as we are, and same type of players. We know it's going to be grind. They're a fundamentally sound football team, and as are we. We just have to go out there and try and out-execute them and play our best football.
Reporting outside Kinnick Stadium, I'm Taylor Brooks for Daily Iowan TV Sports.
I'm definitely looking forward to this game this weekend, especially the atmosphere inside Camp Randall Stadium.
Same here. Now, as for other fall sports, swimming and diving kicked off their season in the Windy City of Chicago this past weekend.
Jordan Maloney tells us how the Hawks are feeling after such a great season last year.
After hosting the men's swimming and diving Big Ten championships, as well as the men's NCAA championships last season, the University of Iowa swimming and diving program enters a new season with their name on the maps. But head coach Mark Long isn't dwelling on last season.
Last year, hosting all of those championships and to have the NCAAs here, which was really a dream. In a lot of ways, it was kind of like we arrived. This year, we've got a lot of returners, a lot of great point scorers for us, and a different level of excitement. So a completely different year, a completely different team.
As the Hawkeyes are getting ready to dive back into things this season, the team has been working both in and out of the pool, starting from the fundamentals.
This year we've been working on the ABCs of swimming. So what we do outside the pool, how we sleep, how we eat, lifestyle choices, and I think that's helped tremendously.
The teams opened up their 2015-2016 season on September 26th with wins over University of Illinois Chicago. The men's team put up a 155-57 point win led by junior Jackson Halsmer, who finished the meet with a pair of first place wins in the 200 free and the 200 free relay.
It's going to set the mentality right for a lot of the newcomers especially, and it's something for us all to build off of.
As for the women's side, these Lady Hawkeyes recorded a 146-72 point victory with outstanding performance by Katie Wells, a freshman who swam away with wins in the 100 backstroke, 100 breaststroke, and the 200 medley relay.
Just to use it as confidence and just keep on rolling.
The Hawkeyes return to action on October 9th when they will host the intra-squad meet at the Campus Recreation and Wellness Center Natatorium. That's all for today in swimming and diving. I'm Jordan Maloney with Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Going off what Jordan was saying, 2016 is an Olympic year for swimming and diving, and some Iowa swimmers are looking to qualify for Rio in the summer.
That wouldn't only be good for them, but for this Iowa program as well.
Definitely. Now, switching back to the football field, there's one person you can't miss in Kinnick Stadium on Saturdays.
And that tradition has been around for a while, and that's the Iowa Golden Girl. I took a look at the Iowa Golden Girl and the history behind the position. Before the swarm of Hawkeyes and highlight plays on Saturdays during the fall, Whitney Secker-Anderson, the Iowa Golden Girl, takes the field in what has been the tradition for nearly 50 years.
I'm like a member of the band, and that's first and foremost. The band could go on without me, but I couldn't really be there without the band, so I definitely see myself as a member of the Hawkeye Marching Band, and as the Golden Girl, I do stand out a little bit more since I'm in the sparkly costume and I'm twirling, and so I just want to be a good representation to young girls who maybe aspire to do something like baton twirling.
Dr. Carter Biggers completed his doctoral thesis on Iowa, detailing the history of the Hawkeye Marching Band, including the Golden Girl.
Twirlers and majorettes have been a long part of the collegiate band landscape. There were majorettes in the Hawkeye Marching Band well before there was an actual Golden Girl.
Frank Pearsall came to the Iowa Marching Band in 1967 and made a change we still see almost 50 years later.
As director of band, bands. One of the biggest changes, I guess a very distinctive change that he made to the Hawkeye Marching Band was the establishment of this Golden Girl position.
Lanny Jo Gilflesh was still in high school when she became the first Golden Girl in 1968. The position remains one of the most competitive twirling spots in the nation.
Everybody knows about the Golden Girl. Students that are coming up in the rank know, hey, if I get to that pinnacle of twirling, I have an opportunity to go twirl at some of these great institutions.
For the current Golden Girl, being in a Big Ten marching band speaks for itself.
We are at the University of Iowa. It's a Big Ten school. So the band has a tradition of being a Big Ten marching band, which is pretty prestigious in the marching band world, I would say. So being able to twirl with them is an honor in itself.
Hawkeye Nation will continue to see Whitney Sekar Anderson as she returns for her 5th season in 2016. Mark Fry, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
I have no idea how she does it with all those batons.
Me either, but that does it for Laura and I here in the Daily Iowan TV Sports studio.
But check us out on Wednesday where volleyball reporter Hannah Thompson takes a look at their dynamic front row. Back to you guys at the desk.
Before we leave you tonight, Nikki, did you know it was National Coffee Day today?
I actually did know that, Hannah.
Companies like Dunkin' Donuts and Krispy Kreme have given out free cups of coffee to all their customers throughout the day. Well, I thought I'd surprise you, so I brought you a cup.
What are the chances? I got you one too.
Wow, thanks. Well, that's all we have for you tonight on this edition of Daily Iowan TV.
Be sure to check us out tomorrow, same place, same time. Or anytime on our YouTube channel, just search Daily Iowan TV.
Have a great night.